Yankees are 1 out away. It'll be a 1-2. Swung on a high fly to right. Soto is there. Juan Soto makes the catch. Ball game over. American League Championship Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win. The Yankees are going nuts on the field.
There you have it with New York, and of course Soto fitting. Michael Kay does all their games. He's been on the pre and post. Obviously ESPN with the Wild Card Series 2. Mr. Kay, it's a pleasure here. I know, listen, that was an incredible at bat, and he is he's the best hitter we've seen since Ted Williams. He's that good. But I think Stanton was the key to Game 5, and I think Stanton was the key to the whole, really in a lot of ways, the first 2 rounds. He has been tremendous. He stands up to the media when things haven't gone great with injuries and everything else. That was a huge home run off Bybee. Once he hit it, you knew the Yankees would figure out a way. Let's give Stanton his props here. Start there. Go ahead.
I couldn't agree with you more. That's why he rightfully won the MVP of the series. And if I have a complaint about Stephen Vogt, I thought he did an unbelievable job. He might win the Manager of the Year in the American League. There were 2 times I just don't understand why he pitched to Stanton. I mean, there's a base open. The guy hitting behind Stanton in Game 5 was Jazz Chisholm, who has struggled mightily throughout the playoffs, and you decide to pitch to Stanton as if you're just daring him to do it again, and he did. And you mentioned how he's built for this. Chris, I'll tell you what, over the years since the Yankees got him from the Marlins, he's had the injuries. He hasn't been able to stay on the field. He's been booed by the fans. I've never seen a guy handle things so well. It's like he's programmed to do this the right way. Doesn't snap at anybody, doesn't blame the fans, doesn't blame anybody but himself, and just said, you know what, I've got to be better. I boo me too. And the one place that he's always showed up is during the postseason with the Yankees. He has carried them. He really has. And when they've been eliminated before they got to the World Series, it was not because of Stanton. They've gotten as far as they've gotten before because of Stanton, and now finally he gets his chance in the World Series.
And I think also the at-bat on Friday night, he had second and third when he pitched to him when it was up 3-2. I said that, and I forgot. Yes, you're right. Had the same chance to get out of it on Saturday. So twice Vogt didn't do that. And the Yankees, listen, the one reason I like the Yankees here, probably against Atlanta, I'll pick them at the end of the day, is that they hit the Cleveland bullpen, which everybody told me was impossible to, connect with. They're going to be able to hit the Dodger bullpen a little bit because of the Yankee power. They have had so much success late innings historically, and if they beat Cleveland in that department, why can't they beat LA? Let's go there. Let me hear.
Well, the power is important, Chris. The Yankees have been knocked in the past. They don't have enough contact hitters, things like that. But teams are going to strike out more in the postseason because they're going to face better pitching. So when you do make contact, you want to send the ball over the wall. And if you look at the statistics of the World Series over the last however many years, the team that wins scores the majority of their runs via the home run. Now, the Dodgers also have power, but the Yankees are built for it right in the middle. The top 4 guys in their lineup, Gleyber Torres gets on, then you have Soto, you have Judge, you have Stanton. It's really tough to navigate that. And one other thing the Yankees have a big advantage in, the Yankees literally have 5 healthy starting pitchers. One of them is Marcus Stroman. He hasn't been able to throw a pitch yet. And in these series, you only need 4. So how many teams have 5 healthy starting pitching? How many teams have 3? So the Yankees have been able to keep their starting pitching healthy, and somehow Aaron Boone and Matt Blake, the pitching coach, have put together an unbelievable bullpen with somewhat unknown names out there. But they did a great job against Cleveland, and they did a great job against Kansas City. And now with the 5 or 6 days that they'll have off after clinching in Game 5, they'll be able to reset, recalibrate, and those guys will be ready again.
I know everybody gets on Boone, a Yankee fan. It gets on Boone. They don't like this, they don't like that, and postseason managerial strategy stuff and everything else. But you got to give him a lot of credit this year. I mean, as you said, he figured out a way to get something out of Holmes. He found Luke Weaver. Here's Tim Hill getting everybody out. I mean, he used his Cousins the other day. Let's throw Leiter in there for get some outs. So, and then he moved Torres to the leadoff spot. He gets the credit for that. I mean, he's done a very, very good job. Listen, do I think he's Miller Huggins? Not necessarily. But he's done a heck of a job with this team. Let's get thoughts from you on that. Go ahead.
Well, from what I heard, Chris, Huggins wasn't great with the bullpen, so we'll talk about that.
Yes.
But I will tell you this, honestly. I think he has had a somewhat perfect postseason, pushing every right button. The only thing that I would quibble with him about was the lineup switch in Game 3 against Cleveland. I think he opened the door for the Guardians just a bit. He should not have taken Rizzo out of the number 1 hole. He should not have taken Wells out of the game. I think those cost the Yankees that game right there. But otherwise, I think the manager's most important job, and I think you saw Dave Roberts do it, and his staff as well, is navigating that bullpen, deploying those relievers in the right lanes. And Boone's been great at it. And Boone never let this team quit throughout the season. Remember, Chris, they were 11-24 at one point over a 35-game stretch. That was the worst in baseball. He didn't let them quit. And you also mentioned Gleyber Torres. Remember, not only did he move him to the leadoff spot, but before that, he did something that he hardly ever does. He benched him. He didn't like the way he was playing, didn't like the way he was hustling, or lack thereof. And after that benching, Gleyber Torres has been a completely different player, and he's been a force at the top of the lineup. So kudos to Boone. He's been amazing so far in this postseason.
And listen, you and I have discussed this off the air many a time. There is no way that the owner is not going to have to, I don't care what the number is, Soto's going to have to be a Yankee. Now, it's going to drive everybody crazy because it's going to last until March, and it's going to turn everybody off because this will never end. His romancing of Soto, let's get all these teams involved, which will make people sick. But at the end of the day, I would be not as shocked, Lou Strong, very surprised if Soto is not with the Yanks for a long period of time after this postseason. What's your take on that? Let me hear.
Well, I think that's certainly their intent, but I'm not of the belief that whatever the price is, that's where they're going to go. Hal Steinbrenner has a high payroll. I believe this year it's the second highest payroll in baseball, maybe the third, and it's over $300 million. So he's not afraid to spend. But if somebody comes in and offers Soto, $75 million a year, not deferred the way Ohtani's is, where it's actually worth 70 to 75 million, I think somebody would have to swallow hard to say, yeah, I'll do that. And I think it's also going to probably be a 15-year contract with a lot of opt-outs. So whichever team signs Soto, and I know the Yankees would desperately want to be that team, it's going to cost a lot of money. But if it gets to the point where it's outrageous, it's going to be very, very interesting. And you also mentioned until March. I don't think that this could last till March. I think that there are teams that are going to put down an offer and say, this is the best we can do. We want him, but we can't wait till March, because if the Yankees don't get Soto, or any team that wants Soto doesn't get Soto, they're going to have to build a team. So they can't wait until March to do that. I think this has to be done before Christmas.
Wow, interesting. And we'll see what the Yankees do with some prospective free agents. How about Torres? Has he worked himself back in the good graces where he can be a Yankee long term? I know everybody thought that he would be sort of the sacrificial lamb, save money to bring Soto back. But as you said, he's played really well. The benching helped, and he's hit great at leadoff. How about his future? What can you tell me there?
The Yankees do have a lot of people that could play the second base position. And although he has been great for the last 2.5 months, you also had 3.5 months of pretty bad baseball as well. It's going to be interesting to see. But if his price goes to $60 million for 4 years, I would say the Yankees are probably out. But I will tell you this, Chris, if they don't sign Soto, which I think is unlikely, I think they probably will. But if they don't sign Soto, then they have to recalibrate across the board. And then maybe you do allocate some dollars to Torres, and you spend it in other places. So that's why it's so imperative to get the Soto deal done before Christmas, so you can actually make these decisions before these players go somewhere else.
Good job there, Mike. Well done. Appreciate a few minutes. Enjoy it. Always enjoy having you on. Appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you so much, Chris.